rule number 4. Y is a function of u. Say y is a function of u, and u, let's say it is a function of x. So y is a function of u and u is a function of x. Then we can compute dy dx according to the chain rule. Dy dx is equal to dy du times du dx. Notice the du term in the denominator and also the du term in the numerator has a cancelling effect to give you dy dx. So let's look at an example. Example 16. If y is equal to u squared and u is equal to x cubed plus x squared, we want to find dy dx. Now since y is a function of u, we can find dy du. Dy du is equal to 2u, since y is equal to u squared. Derivative of u squared is, we drop the index to the front and subtract 1 from the index, so we obtain 2u. Now derivative of u with respect to x, u is x cubed plus x squared. So derivative of u with respect to x, derivative of x cubed is 3x squared, and derivative of x squared is 2x. So now that we've got dy du and also we got du dx, by multiplying dy du by du dx, we can obtain dy dx. So dy dx is just the product of dy du times du dx, and dy du is 2u and du dx is 3x squared plus 2x. Now u can be written in terms of x because u is x cubed plus x squared, so we can substitute for u. So 2u is x cubed plus x squared, so in place of u, let's type x cubed plus x squared, and we have 3x squared plus 2x. So that is dy dx, that is computing dy dx using the chain rule. Let's look at another example. If y is u cubed and u is x cubed plus x plus 1, what is dy dx? So we could write dy du to be 3u squared, and du dx can be easily found. Derivative of x cubed is 3x squared, derivative of x is 1, derivative of 1 is 0. So now we can find dy dx according to the chain rule, which is 3u squared times 3x squared plus 1. Now we can substitute for u because we would like to express dy dx in terms of x. U is x cubed plus x plus 1, so we can substitute for u. U is x cubed plus x plus 1, so we have u squared. So here we have 3u squared times 3x squared plus 1. Now let's phrase example 17 in a slightly different way. So let's state that y is equal to x cubed plus x plus 1 all cube, and say that we want to find dy dx. So we want to obtain dy dx. Now we could apply the chain rule to obtain dy dx. So we will regard the term inside the brackets, the term that I marked green, as u. So if you could imagine the term marked green with the letter u, then we could write dy du as, we will drop the index of u is 3, so we drop the index to the front, so it will be 3, and u is the term that's marked in green, and we would need to subtract 1 from the index, so 3 minus 1 is 2. So what we've written so far here is dy du. Now the chain rule states that dy dx is equal to dy du times du dx. So we need to multiply dy du by du dx. Now u is the term that's marked green, so the term that's marked green is u. So if we differentiate that with respect to x, derivative of x cubed is 3x squared, derivative of x is 1, derivative of 1 is 0. So what we've got here is the derivative of u with respect to x. So the chain rule states that dy du multiplied by du dx in fact give us dy dx. Now let's take a look at the previous example. Let's phrase this question in a slightly different way. It is the same question, y is u squared, so let's say u is x cubed plus x squared. So let's say, suppose that the question states y equal to x cubed plus x squared all squared. Now what is dy dx? Now we could apply the chain rule to differentiate this function y. In doing so, we will take the term inside the brackets, which is colored green, as u. So if that is u, we have y equal to u squared. So the derivative of y with respect to u is then 2 u, which is x cubed plus x squared, is u raised to the power 1. So what we've got here is dy du, and chain rule states that dy dx is dy du times du dx. So we need to multiply this by du dx. Now u is the colored term, u is x cubed plus x squared, so differentiating that with respect to x gives us 3x squared plus 2x. So what we got here is du dx. So according to chain rule, the product of dy du times du dx is in fact dy dx. Now let's apply the chain rule to differentiate y equals x squared plus yx plus 1 raised to the power 4. So we will treat this term inside the brackets as u, So we could write dy du as 4 u raised to the power 3. U is the green color term, which is x squared plus 5x plus 1 raised to the power 3. So this is dy du. Now chain rule states that we need to multiply that by du dx in order to obtain dy dx. So u is x squared plus 5x plus 1. So du dx is the derivative of the green colored term, which is 2x plus 5. So this term here is du dx. So according to the chain rule, dy du times du dx is in fact dy dx. Let's look at another example. We can use the chain rule again to find dy dx. If we treat this term inside the brackets as u, then dy dx is equal to dy du. And so if the term imagine the term colored green is u, then dy du is we drop the index to the front, so we drop -1 to the front, and u, which is the green colored term, raised to the power, we subtract 1 from the index, so we have -2. So what we got here is dy du. We need to multiply that by du dx. So u is the green colored term. We need to differentiate that with respect to x. So it is derivative of x squared is 2x, derivative of 5x is 5, derivative of 1 is 0. So this term here is du dx. So dy du times du dx is in fact dy dx. Okay, let's look at one more example. Here we've got this expression for y. We could write it in a more convenient form as x plus 1 on x can be written as x to the -1 all squared. So now if we treat the term inside the brackets as u, we can write what dy dx is. So if we first, the term that is marked green is u, so we could write dy du as 2 u is the term marked in green, raised to the power 1, because we drop the 2 to the front and subtract 1 from the index. So this term here is dy du. So according to chain rule, we need to multiply this by du dx. So u is x plus x raised to the power -1, which is the green term. So derivative of that with respect to x, derivative of x with respect to x is 1. Derivative of x raised to the power -1 with respect to x is minus x raised to the power -2. So this is du dx. So according to chain rule, the product of dy du times du dx is in fact dy dx.